Hello, everyone, and welcome to Moonride. This is Dave with Man in the Moon, where we are channeling the Man in the Moon. Today, I'm going to just take a look and see whatever comes up. It's often Trump, but maybe it won't be this time. We'll see. The other thing I'd like to let you know is I've done a really great interview with another channeler named Anita, and I will be posting that within a day or so. So please take a look. One more thing is that I am still taking $7 donations, and that is you donate to a cause and let me know what you donated to and send me a question. I will read on it. I read on it on my Wednesday morning, which is Tuesday evening in America. Now, previous to now, I've done only charitable contributions to kids at the border, but now any kind of charitable contribution, obviously, if you're going to give it to a conservative political pact, I might say no, I'm not doing that. But if you are legitimately going to a real charity that really does good work for any group of people, then just let me know. $7 and send me the subject. Be sure that when you send me the subject that you want me to read on, that it is somewhat clear. Sometimes people have these very, very complicated questions. As much as you can, distill it down. It's okay if it's an unusual question. And don't make it a personal question. I don't want to read on your personal material live, right? So, let's see who shows up today. Man in the Moon, who is going to be important in the next week or so. I'm not surprised actually Epstein has shown up. If you are unaware of it, Epstein is the fellow who was basically sex trafficking 13-year-olds. Acosta is the prosecutor who pretty much let him off the hook and is now working in Trump's White House. What about Epstein? Aha, so Epstein's calling in some favors. Look, he's got a lot of information on a lot of people. I think he's got some information on Trump too. Because I see various jail cells, and I see various groups of people, different people inside the cells, and it's like, he's like, one word, I could get those guys jailed, just one word, and he's still pressuring people to get him off. The problem really is that he can't, now it's sort of out of their hands. Now that this has been made public, thanks to some great reporting out of I think it's the Miami Herald. He knows something about Trump. Like, he's called Trump on the phone and he's let him know. Yeah, he could put Trump behind bars by tomorrow if he wanted. Spirit, can you let me know this without showing me too much? I can't really take child abuse. So, is there a way to say this without being too visual? I think there's some connections. Trump is more than connected to these Epstein molestation issues. He's very connected. I see him with a young girl. That is Trump. This girl does not look 18 to me. I wonder if he doesn't have some information on him. Can you tell us more about Epstein? What will happen? Well, now that the courts are really aware of what he has done, Epstein has done, they're starting to, everybody knows it, so they're going to have to come down hard on him because everybody will be watching. So no judge wants to be that judge that lets him off next. I keep seeing a gavel, and it's just this gavel hitting the table. And calculating that Epstein, he is calculating. He's trying to see if there's a way that he can manipulate the situation, and he's getting really frustrated. So I'm not sure if you've ever seen a tarot card. There's a tarot card that works, and it's three-pointed. This one only has two He's trying to make it three-pointed, but it only has 2 points that are working. The third point isn't working. So I think it's like money and power usually work, but this time he's not gotten to the third portion. It's not working. So Spirit, is he going to talk? He's getting closer to talking. It's not certain, but it's getting closer and closer every day. He gets a little bit closer to telling everybody the truth about all those people. There's a lot of people who are implicated in this. And I feel like Prince Andrew could be one of them. He's one of the people that's in the jail cell. This just goes on and on and on. It's like I just get the feeling that if he exposed everyone, it could just go on in layers and layers and layers of cover-ups and threats and just the darkest stuff, you know. People actually said before this election, we can't have Bill Clinton in the White House again because he's an abuser. But they have no, qualms putting somebody who's, allowed, child abusers to run free, no problem putting them in Trump's cabinet. It's presenting a problem for the Fox News viewers. It is presenting a problem for them because even the newscasters who are, pretty conservative are having some troubles with, child sex ring. It's usually, something that they would report on, but they're being told that they shouldn't. And they're having their own moral qualms about this. And it's actually convincing some of them. It's remarkable, but a few of those Fox newscasters are actually being convinced that this is wrong. They're just starting to get that, this is a contradiction. I know there's some who've already been convinced, but there's a few more who are just waiting in the wings. So, Spirit, anything else that we need to know? Trump. So Trump is like shooting out his rays in all these different directions. Yeah, he's just attacking. He's attacking. This isn't really a successful process. He thinks because this worked in this last election that it's going to work again. But it's almost like he's got limited, death rays. Once you use them all constantly, again and again, they just become less fertile. He hasn't really been so good at creating nasty nicknames for all the Democrats this time around. It's not as effective. He's sort of, blown it all because there's nothing else that he's got in his repertoire. So I see him like kind of shooting these rays out to people, but he's becoming more and more exhausted doing it. And he's opening himself up every day. He opens himself up to counterattack, every time he does that, he's got to face a different set of people. I also get that there are real problems in the White House. There are people within the White House who are seriously considering just leaving or telling the truth. They've gotten to a point where they're totally disillusioned with this person. Even on the fairly low levels, they're having a lot of difficulty pursuing. They're just not able to accept it much further. And I see like one woman in particular just thinking to herself like, wow, what am I doing here? And why am I being treated this way? And I think that we're not seeing what's really going on in the White House. I feel like, at least on a fairly lower level, these people are being treated pretty badly. And they're kind of on the verge of revolution, like on the verge of walking out, on the verge of just telling everybody what's really happening in that place. They're very close, and they're very convincing because, they're crazy conservatives all their lives. But even they are saying, I just can't take this anymore. I can't take the contradictions anymore. right? So look, everybody, I'd love you to right now just send a message to all those people who are the, borderline Trump supporters who are starting to change their mind. Send a message out them that, we all make mistakes. It's time to come to the lighter side. It's time to come to the bright side. And just send a message of love and support. They maybe have done things in the past, but that doesn't change the fact that they can move on into the future, and we could accept that and accept that everybody makes mistakes. Send that message out to them and just sort of psychically let them all know that it's okay now to move away from this dark place in our time. I think some of them are going to do it. Some of them are going to walk. And they're going to be somewhat vocal about it. Well, I always see, one thing that's difficult for me is I always see Trump as this furious person. So every time I tell you this, it's like, yeah, well, what's new, Dave? He's furious. He seems to be incredibly furious this time. And I guess get that this is just not good for his health. It doesn't seem to bother his constituents, but it's really a bad cycle that he's getting into physically that's exhausting him in a way that people don't necessarily see. I feel like he's just running out of this sort of energy, and that he's just kind of repeating the same story over and over again, which is becoming less and less convincing each time. One thing you might have noticed is that Trump supporters are very shrill right now. They're really trying to prove that he's a good guy. And, the fact that they're trying to prove that so much, it lets you know that they are themselves having doubts. So on that note, take hope. Things are changing. They're going to change. And I think that they're very much moving in the direction of the light. And just one more message, things are really changing on the spirit level. We are being supercharged. I can feel it every night. I go to bed and I wake up at the same time. It's like the universe is dropping down into all of us. Take your time here. All these planets are in retrograde. It's not necessarily the perfect time to, start your business or do these actions. Take a lot of time to think and, reflect and make sure things are working for you. Drink lots of water, get lots of rest. You don't need to start every new project right now. It's okay to take your time, and if things are kind of going in the wrong direction, there's more to it than what's going on. Just be aware. We're all getting a big, major download from Creator, and that is something to take into account as you move through your day, especially if you're experiencing any kind of miscommunications or things don't seem to be going well. Just take a step back, take it easy. And don't blame yourself for any kind of mistakes that are going on. Just take them as sort of lessons that we might learn. And in a few weeks, I think it'll be a lot easier to start new projects. At least this is certainly true for me. Thanks so much for watching.